Cool. See, you let me know when you want to start and if you want to start it, man.
Yeah, let's do it. What's up, everybody?
All
We
right.
back. Another week of R2C2.
That's right, man. And another special episode of The Shift.
Yes.
Our partnership with the MLBPA. And we have a legend with us today, man.
Legend.
This is such a pleasure, such a treat. Albert Pujols in the building. Albert, thank you for being with us, man.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Did you guys see the note about your matchup last night and how rare it is to have a guy with 3,000 strikeouts facing someone with 650 home runs?
Well, I'm pretty sure one thing that I can tell you, I have a share in that one, in that list, in his list.
And I definitely got a share in those 650. So, nah, it's crazy.
No, it's amazing, it's a battle, man. I've been following this guy for years, we've facing each other, when he was in Cleveland and in Milwaukee, and now here with the Yankees. It's an amazing career, future Hall of Fame here, and I'm just glad, that I can say to my kids and to my grandkids, one day when he goes in the hole, hey, I was able to face this guy, and it's unbelievable, a guy never complains. He gets the ball every fifth day out there and just get the best, a really competitor, a true competitor, in this game, and it's hard to find guys like him, and what an amazing career, and I want to take the chance now that I have it in front to congratulate you, man.
Appreciate
what an amazing career, for you and your family, man, and good luck and the next chapter in your life, man. But I enjoy, even I'm far away, but I always enjoy, the true competitor that you always have been and the role model that you have been for this game, because a lot of people, only look at us, what we do in the field and what we accomplish, but the most important thing, what you do with that platform that the Lord has given you about giving back in the community and helping others. And I think that's huge, and we can't take that for granted. So congratulations. Well done, brother.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. That was awesome. And, us being the same, coming up really together, you know what I'm saying? And me being able to watch your career and, already a Hall of Famer, I mean, what you've done in this game has been amazing and a great role model to follow to myself. Like I said, us competing against each other, but growing up together and kind of feeding off each other and watching what each other is doing. It's been
making Nike trips, knowing each other better.
It's been crazy, man. It's been it's definitely been a blessing, man. It's been a blessing for our friendship, and I thank you for everything.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning those numbers in your matchups together.
Yeah.
So Albert, you're right. C did strike you out 5 times in his career.
Yes.
And Albert, you have gone yard against C. So you both are in each other's books then when it comes to those stats.
Yeah, well, I think he got my share more. I'm in his book, if you want to call that more, So, but the thing is, bro, when you face guys like him, that caliber, and an amazing career, those guys, they rarely give you one pitch to hit. And when they do, bro, you just need to take advantage of, last night I was able to get a base hit, but, you can see it right there. He's probably not throwing to the level that he used to throw back then. But bro, when he was out there in the mound, he's still intimidated, and he still know how to pitch. And I think, people think that because you throw 95, 100 miles per hour, it's easy to go out there and take them out and pitch. Guys like him, they had that velocity before, and now towards the end of his career, still pitching, to the level and performing the way that he has performed. It's amazing. I mean, this is not about how hard you throw. It's how smart, how you can study the hitters, and same thing, the hitter, how you can go out there and do your homework and then face him last night. So, a true comparative, man, and it's awesome. I think those are the things that I'm pretty sure that he's going to be missing, but he's going to be enjoying his family more often now. He's probably going to have next year in 2020 a really summer with his family.
Summer vacation.
That he can travel. I mean, when was the last time you can say that?
1997.
So
I ain't had a summer off.
So
hey,
it's just fun.
It's crazy. Last night, I felt myself getting emotional a couple of times. I wouldn't look at you when you got in the box, and when I walked off the mound, coming, at that last inning, I got the pop up and I walked off the mound, and then I saw you. Like I purposely didn't look at you. You know what I'm saying? And then I had my head down. The first person I look up, I saw was Dylan. And I was like, damn, like it's crazy. It's not so much about like the game. I think it's the relationship that you have
Yes.
with, different
Yes.
guys and, guys that you see come up. And, like Dylan's like my little brother, you know what I'm saying? So I miss being around these guys every day and hanging out with my teammates. So that was the most emotional part. Like being out there, I've done it for 19 years.
Yes.
The aches and pains, different surgeries and everything, we go through in the off season to get out there. So I'm a little sick of that. But as far as like the
memories,
the
man,
memories
that you
and the
built.
guys
Yeah.
and the,
Those are
the
things that you take back.
relationships that's what I'll cherish the most, and I think I'll miss the most.
No, it was pretty special last night. I went through, obviously, early this year, when I went to St. Louis for the first time in 8 years.
Man,
I mean,
that was emotional for me.
It was crazy, bro. And then to see that last night, it was like deja vu for me, because I had that experience in St. Louis. And, you need to give a lot of credit to these fans, man, the way that they obviously staying last night for you and just really woke you off pretty much. And that's what true fans do, man. It doesn't matter. That's what true fans, they appreciate. I'm pretty sure the Yankees fan appreciate that, your whole career. So, and, it's not over. I mean, you guys are in the playoff, and, I'm pretty sure you go and your dream and your goal is to try win a championship this year and walk out, with the big door open, having a trophy. And, good luck to you guys. You guys having a great team, and hopefully, I know you guys bent up a little bit, lose a couple of arms in there and injury, but if you stay healthy, man, you guys are going to be pretty dangerous in the playoffs.
It's been crazy. You guys been dealing with a lot of injuries too, huh? It's been nuts how many injuries we dealt with, man. I've never seen anything like what we've had. I mean, even so many, you guys have so many big guys go down, man. That makes it hard, man.
It's really frustrating because, our GM and our front office and our owners, man, they work their butt off to put a quality team together that they believe that is going to perform in 2019, and then less than 10 games into a season, you lose 3 or 4 guys that you really count on it. I mean, now towards the end, we lost Jay Up and then Upton, and Zach Kozar early in the year, or Shohei Ohtani, just last week with knee surgery. It's hard because you're expecting guys to step up, but they never used to be in that
situation.
situation, so it's tough. You asking young guys, to do that, but it's hard, man. It's hard, and I think that's something in the game that you cannot control. Injuries, man. I mean, when you out there playing every day, I mean, you can do whatever you can in the workout room, train hard in the off season, but man, when you go every day 162 games, you just pray every day that you don't get hurt, that you stay healthy, and it's hard because you're in the field pretty much. You take the ball every 5th day, but then during those 3 days, you're doing your bullpen, you're working out, and getting yourself ready for your next start. For me, it's the same thing. The days that I don't play, I actually lift weights and then have
take
to
swings
and do all that. So it's really going all the time and really active. Yes, we've been doing it for so long, and we be able to do it for so long like that with the success that we had because the workout that we have put together in the off season. So, but it's tough. It's frustrating, when you lose guys like that.
That's why it's been so amazing to watch what we've been able to do with, Miguel going down, Andujar going down a couple of days into the season, and Gio Urshela stepping up. Giancarlo's only played 10 games for us. You know what I'm saying? Sockman stepping up. Like, these guys have been huge, and you can't expect guys to do what these guys have done. You know what I'm saying? But it's just been amazing. We're in this position that we're in because of all the young guys that stepped up and just not did what the guys that were hurt can do. They just filled their role. You know what I'm saying? And not trying to do too much.
But the thing is that was the same thing when I was in St. Louis, bro. Those young guys, we were not asking too much, but those guys step up to the level, we were even shocking, But I think I'm pretty sure in your clubhouse, you guys make those guys so comfortable, the young players, hey, you belong here. You're here because you're going to help out this year to win a championship. And it's the same thing, in our clubhouse here with the Angels. I'm like, those guys, the relationship, whether you come from another team or whatever, it starts in spring training. And we know sooner or later those guys are going to help us to win during the course of the season.
For sure.
And, I remember when I was in St. Louis in 2011, we have a bunch of injuries, but those guys step up. The guy like the John Jay, the Dave Freed, Daniels Descartes. So guys that really people don't expecting, And all of a sudden, those are the guys sometimes in the playoff that really win the
Yeah.
MVP and all that, because nobody's expecting those guys to step up, and then they give them the opportunity and have a great series, and all that, help us to win. But it takes more. I know we had carrying 25 players in the roster, but at the end of the day, it takes more than that, including the coaches and then the front office and everybody, from the bad boy to the clubhouse, all those guys that really work so hard that people don't get to see, that they're behind the scene to pretty much let us go out there and play and make it easy for us. And, we need to give a lot of credit to those guys too.
For sure. I always tell guys in spring training. My bad, Ruocco.
No. Go for it. See, go for it.
I was just saying, I always tell guys in spring training, when we sitting in that room, that pitcher's room, when we first get in there, everybody in here is going to pitch in the big leagues on this team. So be ready. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no matter from, the youngest guy to the oldest guy, we use everybody. So if you're in this room, you got a chance to pitch. So be ready, man.
Yes.
For both of you guys, because you both, you've won championships, you've achieved personal accolades, you've been, leaders in the community and leaders in the clubhouse. And Albert, do you guys remember when you first felt comfortable being that voice that you're describing, being like you in the pitcher's room and what you're describing, and Albert, you being a leader and looking around and saying, hey, it's going to take more than just, the 5 stars on this team. We need everybody if we're going to do this year. Do you remember like when it was in your careers where you felt like, hey, I can take on this role. I can be this voice?
Yeah, I think for me it was back in St. Louis, and I think it all comes with guys that we have around, guys that really take us under the wing. I mean, I got guys like Mark Maguire, Gene Emmons, Scott Rowland, Plácido Polanco, Edgar Renteria, Fernando Viña, Matt Morris, Darryl Kyle. I mean, I can name the list up and down, but those guys really made me comfortable. I say early, you have to treat those guys like they belong here, and they knew I was the youngest player in the team. They knew that I was going to help that ball club in 2001 to win and to hopefully go to the playoff, and they made me comfortable. They say, bro, you don't have to be a superstar to be a leader. And that's what I tell these guys right now, because everybody's looking like the Mike Trout, the best player in the game, even though he's a leader in our clubhouse, but, you need to look like the David Fletcher and guys like that really go at it every day, and we respect them, and they care, they wear that jersey with honor every day. So you don't have to be a superstar in a clubhouse to be a leader. You just need to earn that respect the way that you go about it every day with your workout, the way you respect people in the clubhouse, and the way you respect your teammates. And that's something that I learned on the young age really, really quick because I was around so many veteran guys. I mean, I remember when I was in Houston. First of all, I remember in 2001 when I broke camp, I wasn't even going to be in the team. They just took me for some exhibition game to go to Seattle and Oakland. And Darryl Kyle told me, don't be afraid to make the All-Star game. And I remember I was one of the last guys to get, and I'm like, wow, that's the pressure right there, Well, he told me that, and then right in there, like I felt the present, I felt like I belong, and then all the guys just rallying around me and surround me, and just really taught me the right way, and I think that's the thing that we wanna, since this last year, this year, hopefully, in 2 years. If I can stay healthy, and that's the mark that we want to leave behind, just to train these kids and teach these kids, We don't want a babysitter because that's not our job. We have a job to do, but we want to then to take this game serious and don't take anything for granted. So that way, the younger that they can learn how to do that, the better success that they're going to have. And hopefully, if we can encourage some of those young guys and they can pick it, that the next generation after that, they're going to do the same thing. And hopefully that's how you build guys like CC and myself. I mean, it wasn't just we wake up one day and all of a sudden, we were like, yeah, we got it. We got to figure it out. No, it took a lot of work, from all the guys that really pour into. And I'm pretty sure that CC has done that in his career, and I'm pretty sure I've done that in my career,
Yeah, for sure. For me, it in Cleveland, started. For me, I wanted to be a leader so bad when I was young. I had to work at it. I had to learn how to kind of kind of lead and you know, try to do it the right way, I guess. You know, when I was, you know, my first couple of years, I wanted to be like the ace, the guy right away, and it just wasn't coming, you know, like I thought it should, and it just took me a while. I had to step back and you know, learn how to, you know, hang out with people, learn how to lead people and lead by example and go out and be a good teammate and
learn from your
leave
mistakes.
it out in the field. Yeah, learn from everything. So I think it took me a little while to figure that out. I always had great great veterans around me. I had Ellis Burks, you know, Kenny Lofton, Robbie Alomar, Omar Vizquel, you know, Jim Tomey. These guys were awesome for me. And they taught me really how to treat people, you know, and treat the young guys. And, you know, the way our clubhouse is now is the way they treated me, you know. I told Ellis Burks the other day, you know, he bought me my first suit in the big leagues. And all these guys now, Domingo Germán, Sevy, all these guys, I bought all these guys their first suit. And now they turn around and, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like paying it forward and kind of, you know, passing it down. So, yeah, but I think I really had to learn how to lead and, you know, in my mid-20s in Cleveland for sure.
You know, this is why I love our podcast, Albert. And C and I know this because we get to experience this all the time. But for our audience, and right now I want to put myself in their place. Like, we're listening to two Hall of Famers just rap about going through the game. You know, it's what makes what C and I do here so beautiful. It's like when you get this opportunity, I just love hearing you guys go through these stories. And I do have to tell you this. You know, I said the 3,000 strikeout, 650 home run matchups in baseball history. Well, I just have to give you the other names because it's amazing, guys. It was last night with you two, okay? The other times it's happened in baseball history, Bob Gibson facing Hank Aaron, Randy Johnson against Barry Bonds, and Greg Maddux against Barry Bonds.
That's crazy.
Not about
pretty
group.
cool,
That's
right?
That's insane, man. Bob Gibson and Hank Aaron just gave me chills. Like,
right?
That's like, I mean, you grew up listening to those names and to be like.
Well, I grew up, you know, with Buck Gibson in St. Louis telling me, hey, man, back in the day, you know, if I would have faced you, I would have thrown you up and in. And if you look at me, I would have hit you the next time back. You know, no, it's awesome.
That's cool. I always had good relationships with all the older players that was always around. Bob Feller was always one guy that I was always really close to, and I got a chance to see some of his stats. We got similar numbers too, and you know, he just really like gave me the mentality of, he used to always ask me like, how many games you gonna win this year? And I'd be like, oh, I want to win 20. He'd be like, well, how many you gonna start? You know, 30 to 35. Well, what you gonna fucking lose? 15? Like, no, you wanna win all these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just really gave me that, like, go out every start and I'm gonna win it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna win this game. And it kind of started with Bob Feller and just a lot of I'm grateful for a lot of those old relationships that I have with, you know, the Yogi Berras and you know, Gator now and. So it's cool
just
to
good.
have those,
It's just cool to have those
relationships.
guys. When I was in St. Louis, you know, just to see a state music, you know, come through that room and just, man, light up, smile, you know, the Buck Gibson, the Lou Brock, Red Shanning.
That's
you
amazing.
know. I mean, all those guys, just to sit down and talk. You know, I remember, you know, I asked a question. We were like in the training room, and I asked Red Shanning, I'm like, Red, like back in the day, do you used to have like 6 fields like this to practice it? Like, no, you crazy? I'm like, you know, and for the rookies, we had 1 field, first of all. And for the rookie, you had to wait until all the guys hit, and then you can hit afterwards. Like, you know, and look at it. They used to do that back in the day. And, I mean, we are so blessed that we're playing in this generation like this, and then the fields are better and all that. I mean, I sit down and talk to those guys, and just they used to tell me a story. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I'm like, there's no way that I'd be able to perform, you know, on this level
those
conditions, and those guys did it. It's amazing. That's what's so beautiful, you know, to sit down and just talk to them about the bus ride, you know, the competitor that they were, and you know, and give you shields, man. Like, just think about that, man, and it's so awesome. So I'm blessed, you know, just with a great career that I've been having, you know, in my life, but to be able to be around great people that love the game of baseball and that really taught me so much.
Albert, can you remember an interaction with either a legend in the game, or let's just say anyone famous in this world, doesn't have to be baseball related, but like where you felt truly in awe, truly starstruck?
Well, for me, it's had to be Stan the Man, bro, in St. Louis. I mean, the first time that I got a chance to meet him, and just talk to him a little bit about hitting. It was just amazing, because when I got to St. Louis, I didn't know much until, I make the team, and then, for opening day, for me, it's like St. Louis is like one of the best tradition that they have with the cars and for opening day, it's just unbelievable. And having those guys, all the Hall of Fame line up, wearing the red jacket. So the first time that I saw Stan, man, it was like, what? Stan Musial, and then later on we became really close friends he came to a lot of my events and just, pretty much every other week, he would have come to the clubhouse when we were home and just we would just start talking and just talk baseball, man. That was it. And he asked me about, one of the coolest story that I have. It was he picked my bat one time, and at that time I was using 34, 32 and a half, and he told me, he's like, this is a two-pick. I'm like, how can you hit with this? There's no way I can hit with this. So stuff like that is a cool story, just being around those guys. But I would say it has to be Stan Musial.
Oh, that's amazing, man. I mean, I could see, because then, like, if you have Stan Musial there as a resource, right, you got to be like, well, can I go back to him? Like, can I keep asking him about hitting,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
You want to keep going back to him. You guys have seen so much. And this may seem sort of like a very just general question, but because of all you've accomplished in the baseball you've played, I'm just wondering, see, I don't know if I've asked you even ever like this, but just if I was going to say, who are the best players each of you have competed against, who would you say? It doesn't have to be one, but if you think of like one or two, you're just like, man, that guy was filthy. That guy was nasty. That guy was such a tough out. Who would you guys think about first?
Man, you know who comes to my mind because I played against him so much? It was Carlos Beltran. And I think like people don't realize how good he was in Kansas City.
Yes.
I mean, he did everything. He ran. I mean, he played the base. I mean, ran the bases well. He played defense. He hit on both sides.
They're talking about 5 tools. He has his tools.
He had everything.
He knew how to play the game.
Yeah, he was one of the guys when we played Kansas City. I was like, fuck, man, I got to face Carlos tonight. Yeah. And then if I walk him, he's still in second and third. You know what I'm saying? Like he was always rough and tough for me to face.
Mm-hmm. For me, I think it had to be facing those guys too. I mean, facing guys like Greg Maddux, and John Small going into Atlanta. Guys that I really grew up watching, and now I'm facing. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And just to compare, I say early, like when you face guys like CC, John Small, Greg Maddux. I mean, those guys, they might give you a pitch to hit, and you better take advantage, get a base hit, and you might just do the whole series. I remember going into Atlanta early when those guys, you had to face Mato, Glav, and John Small. I mean, like, man, if I can get 2 here in this series, yes, I got a class, So those guys, and I think early for me, I think Todd Helton. Every time I went to Colorado, man, that was one of the sweetest swing from the left side that I have seen.
And just hitting the ball all over the park,
unbelievable.
Too.
I mean, when I went to Colorado, you remember I played right, left field, third base, first base, everywhere. And I remember playing in the outfield. When I left there for a 3-game series, like my hamstring was so sore from those guys hit a ball in the gap that were automatic triple. Larry Walker and Todd Helton. And it was unbelievable. One of the sweetest swing, but also so competitive, And later on, 2004, 2005, I had the opportunity and the privilege to play with Larry Walker, one of the toughest guys that I ever played against and with.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the numbers speak for itself, buddy. The numbers speak for itself. So,
Albert, C has told us a story before where he first, and C, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Harold Reynolds texting you who first brought up 3,000 strikeouts to you, right?
Yeah, 3,000 strikeouts, 250 wins, yeah.
Yeah, he was the one who kind of put it on your radar. Albert, have you ever had someone like kind of been unaware of, I don't know, a record or milestone you're coming upon, and then someone reaches out to you and you're like, oh, wait, that's kind of cool. Like, I want to hit that number.
Yes. I think the 650 and 650 doubles and 650 homers, I think that's pretty cool. That's something that, I wasn't even aware, and one of the guys, actually was one of the guys in our clubhouse, Shane Bennett, who's really a brilliant guy. He's know about numbers. He's like, dude, do you know that you are the first player down there. Like, what? No, no, like, I don't really, I don't know, CC, but myself, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because we are aware, what's around. We are aware, but it's not like we come into the ballpark say, I'm going to pass this guy.
Yeah,
I'm going to do
but
this.
I never. That's what. I never played the game for numbers anyway.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
It's
I never
about
played
winning and building a relationship.
That's all it was.
And the success that we have, thank God, is because we never thought about that. We never put that pressure on ourselves.
I think if I would have started my career saying I wanted 3,000 strikeouts, I would have never got here.
No,
you know what I'm
because
saying?
you would have tried so hard. So I think sometimes when I talk, I'm talking to the media and they get frustrated because they really want me to talk to them about my accomplishment. I tell them, I'm like, God, that's not what I play, man. I play to help this organization, the St. Louis Cardinals organization, or the Angels organization now, to win. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. And then if I do that, believe it or not, I'm going to put numbers.
I was about to, everything's going to be there at the end anyway.
Yes.
If you playing for the right reasons, we start winning, your numbers going to be there. We winning because of my numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and then you're going to have plenty time when you're done playing
to worry about
look
all
back
of that.
and say, wow. But like for me, when I'm really in the game, I really try to stay focused every day. And listen, we are human, and it's really easy to get caught up into that. So that's why I'm really good on blocking all that stuff that's going to take that distraction for me to help myself to prepare for the game. So I really try to block all that. I hear guys saying, hey, you think you can get to 700? I'm like, hey, I never thought I was going to get to 500 or 600. I never think about it. And look, I got 650 plus. I'm like, if a 700 comes, it's great. But if it doesn't come, then, hey.
650 is pretty damn good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to look at my career and say, damn, man, I didn't get to 700. I'm like, I think, God, I think the Lord would judge me for that, because it's been an unbelievable career.
Yeah, I think it's hard, man, when I don't know. Baseball is different. It's hard to play for numbers, man. It's just really hard to do. And I think the guys that have the best numbers and amass all these, accomplishments and awards and stuff, I think they could tell you that they don't play for none of that stuff, and it just kind of happens, I guess.
That'll take care of itself.
Like, I would almost think it's easier to pile up those numbers when you're playing on a team that's in it throughout the entire season.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was about to say. Like this last year, you know what I'm saying? We've been going all through this with me, my last year, whatever. It's been easy to deal with all that because we trying to go out and win a baseball game every day. Like last night, yeah, it was my last start, but we trying to clinch. We're trying to actually really win the game. So it takes the focus off it, being about one person, which is I'm fine with.
You hit it right there, dude.
I'm
because
fine with
this is not about CC. This is not about Albert Pujols. You have 25 other guys plus the call up in September, and it's about a team. We a team. This is not like one single accomplishment. You need guys. For him, he need a catcher to throw the ball, and guys to make defense. For myself, I need guys to get on base for me to drive and all that to be able to reach those milestones that I have. So it's really a group, it's not one individual. So I think for me, I always try to take the spotlight, the focus. And this is from day one, knowing that, hey, this is about the organization. This is about our team. How can we get better? And hopefully at the end of the day, try to accomplish what we all want, all 30 teams going into spring training when we break camp is to win a championship. So I try to do that the best that I can, every day.
Now, Albert, you were, it's not like you were the first pick of the draft, right? you're a 13th round pick, and initially, I believe,
in 98 or 99?
99.
Yeah.
402.
You could, wow, how about that? I think 401 people feel pretty crappy about themselves. I'm thinking this, so Albert, like, at what point, twofold, like, at one point did you realize as you're going through the minors, like, oh, like, I'm gonna mash here, like I'm gonna do my thing, or did you always have that belief? And at one point, did you start to see like the organization realize, whoa, we have something like really special in this guy?
Well, for me, like you said, I think being drafted 402 in the 13th round by the Cardinals. By the way, let me go back a little bit. I didn't even know that I was getting a scouting by the Cardinals. I believe really that I was gonna get drafted either by the Royals, by the Tampa Bay Rays or the New York Mets or Pittsburgh. Those were the 4 teams. Like I built a relationship with the scout. One of my best friend who passed away early this year, who's one of my mentor, Fernando Arango. He used to be the scout for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and in 1999 he took me to a workout down to Tropicana Field, and I did tryout, and they told me, "Hey man, we're gonna pick you probably in the first 2 or 3 round," which my encouragement to young players right now, and they're or high school kid that they have a scout or people telling them that they're gonna get drafted in the first round, second round. Don't believe it.
Don't listen to
don't
none of
listen
that
to
crap.
all that, man. Just go about it by your business, work out, and whatever happened. Because what that did to me, I kind of like it put me in a place that listen, everybody wants to get drafted, so I did at the end of the day. But I remember going to that draft year, 1999. It was so tough because I was waiting for that call. I'm like, yes, I'm going to be probably one of the top pick, whatever, in the country, and this and that. It never happened. So, first round, 8th round, all the rounds came. Boston called in the 9th round. They want to draft me, but they didn't want to pay for my school. And I was like, listen, school is more important for me. They let me go. Then the New York Mets called, and at that time I had an agent that I guess was asking too much for that round, so they passed me along. And then the Cardinals came in the 13th round. But I think for me, looking all that back, it's like, man, it's a blessing.
I was about to say, it's all a blessing.
God always has a plan for you, and you just need to follow. You just need to listen and follow. Because maybe if I would have gone to Tampa, if I would have gone with the Mets, or if I would have gone with Boston, maybe I wouldn't have that career.
Nah, they wouldn't have been able to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, when I got drafted, man, it was really frustrated. But I took that, and I remember, as of right now, I can close my eyes, leaving my house, telling my wife I'll be back because I was so crying. I was so frustrated, because I didn't get drafted, in the first 5 or 10 rounds, whatever. And I left home, and I turned the radio, man, and I think it was George Brett's brother that was on a radio show. He calling, which, George Brett is I'm #1 fan. I mean, being in Kansas City, he's the king over there in Kansas City. And he was talking a story about his brother, telling him, I'm like, George, you better sign, and you're going to prove them that they're wrong, and your money you're going to make it in the big leagues. Don't worry about the draft and all that. So I don't know if that was true, but I heard that story that his brother say, man, and that was the sign that I say. So I turned it around. I went back to my wife, and I told her, you know what? I'm going to go and sign, and I'm going to go play with the Cardinals, and I'm going to take that and use it, put that as a chip on my shoulder, and I'm going to try to play 3 years in the minor league. If I don't make it to the big leagues, then I quit the game, which at that time I was so frustrated. I was it probably was a lie, but I was so frustrated, and I was so hurt because I listened to so many people telling me, the rounds that I did, that you were going to go, and it didn't happen.
And you know what?
And
at that time, not to cut you, but you think that's your baseball career.
Yeah.
Like getting drafted is your career. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't see past anything other than what round you get drafted in. So like that's a huge deal for you. You know what I'm saying? At that age.
Exactly. And I told my wife that. 3 years. Little man, I only took me 1 year, and I was in the big league the next year.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, Like I tell people that story, they don't believe it. They're like, what? And, now you see guys getting drafted. They rush it through the season. They have success, better player, good arm, good talent. And then 1 year, they're in the big leagues. Back then, 1999, man, to get to the big leagues in 1 year, only 1 year in the minor, it didn't happen too many times. So for me to do that, man, that was just a great accomplishment, and, something that I give God the glory, and my families, they stand behind me and always pushing me. My coaches, from the minor league.
That year in 2000, where'd you start?
I started in Peoria, Illinois.
In Peoria.
And then I went to High A, Potomac.
That's where we crossed.
Yeah.
Because Coco was on that team,
Coco,
right?
Coco, Victor Martinez.
That's where we crossed.
Victor was there.
Because I was in Kinston.
And Kinston.
And playing against Potomac.
Then Kinston used to have that field that you had the wire. Was it the wire in the middle of the field? Like power line wire, like in the middle
across,
of the field? Yeah, so that's where we, in Potomac.
That's where we crossed paths. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
So I know it's a long story, man. I mean, we'll be here all day, but it's just stuff like that that I take this opportunity, you know, and CC can agree with me, just to tell those high school kids that have the talent and the ability. Listen, you don't have to be a first-round pick. No. You don't have to be a second-round pick. You can be 402 in the draft, and still, maybe you don't gonna get the opportunity that a first-rounder will get. But man, if you work hard and you show the organization that you belong, and you can get to the next level and get to the big league and help that ball club to win, they will give you that opportunity. So what I'm trying to say with this is like never take anything for granted. You know, I mean, yes, it's great to have a great check and signing bonus, you know, but if you have a great career, you're gonna make your money at the end of the day in this level.
You know, Albert.
That's a great
all,
story for the high school kids, whoever out there listening to this, for sure.
Amazing. See, I mean, Albert, you're gonna have to come back on sometime.
For sure.
Well, Sissy know where he can find me.
You are an incredible storyteller, and this is such a treat for us and for our audience. Real quickly, I know you got to run. With these episodes with The Shift in our partnership with the MLB Players Association here on R2C2, we like to just end the episodes asking, what do you love most about this game, and what's one thing you'd like to see changed about the game? So I just want to give you the opportunity to ask you that and answer that before we let you get back to work here.
Well, two things. I don't love the ship because that thing hurts everybody,
the
buddy.
Fucking ship.
Yes, that hurts everybody, buddy. I don't like that. You know how many hits, man, I've been robbed.
We gotta rename this podcast episode.
I don't like that, bro. I don't like that. I think for me, I don't know. It's just so much because it's just a different generation right now. Obviously they're trying to change so much again. I just wish that the game can go back to where it was when I came up. The umpire get control of the call. I know they're spending a lot of money on the instant replay and all that. But one thing that I can say, those umpires, man, they work hard every day to try to get better. And I know they a lot of people, they take a lot of criticism for people and all that, but they're human. At the end of the day, they make mistakes. So if it's for me, one thing that I can, those are the two things, the shift and just let the umpire, man. If it's a homer, it's a homer. That's it. If it was a foul ball, hey, forget about it, So, but like switching the first and third, and I know next year they're gonna add a couple of more things. It just really the game is changing, and I think it's taking a lot of fun from the game, So, but I would say as of right now, those are the two things that I really think about it, the shift, and then just let the umpire have the control, to continue to call the game, because they work hard every day, to be the best, and they make mistakes like we do, with base running and error and striking out. So that's the way it goes. And I know at the end of the day, the game can be long, whatever it is, but you know what? The true fan, it doesn't matter if it take 10 hours, man. They come and support the team, and hopefully see their home team win. And that's what we play for, to hopefully bring a smile on the fans and to, hopefully they can enjoy a great game.
Albert, absolutely tremendous stuff. Cannot thank you enough for doing this. And, we like to end each episode by asking our guests to remind our audience to rate, review, and subscribe to R2C2. So would you do us the honor of just imploring our audience to rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast?
So you want me to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, guys, please, if you're listening out there, to rate, review,
and subscribe.
And subscribe, please.
Yeah,
so this is hey guys, this is the most fun that I had this year. I'm telling you, man, this is cool. Sitting with CC here, man, a future Hall of Fame with amazing career. We know each other for a long time. We battle each other back and forth, and this is pretty special. So thank you very much. You can have me on anytime you want. CC got my number. All he needs to do, send me a text, and I'm on, man. So thank you so much, guys. Bless.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, Albert. That means the world. Continued success, man.
Thank you so much.